Hello, ladies and gents! As you probably know, we have quite a long list of epic replays waiting to be featured, and after a quick survey on Facebook and Twitter last week, this one right here seemed to tickle your interest the most. And with good reason too. Everybody's favorite Roadrunner, the ELC, in a 10 kills 1 vs 6 monster engagement? Yes please. Check this one out. Alright, so here we are in our ELC, this time around in an encounter match on Malinovka. Well, this is pretty much the perfect map for a light tank, probably only Prohorovka would be better, so we can't really complain about this, and neither can we about the matchmaking. A lovely tier 6 match which is awesome for an ELC. Quarter of the tier 6, a lot of tier 5s and tier 4s on the enemy team, so we really should be able to put in some effective fire with that 90mm Doom cannon at this tier, if we are careful and don't throw away our health. That doesn't mean we have to sit at the edge of the map for the entire match, so right in the beginning we are going for a lovely little active scouting run here on the mid-ridge. Although we don't manage to spot that many tanks, which is actually quite useful information. And there we go, first tank already out, so the scouting run was really effective it seems. So, not that many tanks spotted now. What this tells us is probably that a lot of the enemy team will camp, as is quite often the case on these lower tier matches. Although our team is quite the contrary, they are lemming training up the hill, which is, well, it's not ideal, but it's still better than if everybody would camp just the starting positions, as quite often happens in this map. We're trying to get some spots on that leopard, but he is firmly behind that ridgeline, unfortunately, so no luck there. And still no further spots, although with the binoculars we have excellent view range in this little tank. So the crew that we have on the ELC is probably pretty damn good as well. At base 360 meters view range, which you can pump up quite nicely. We caught a glimpse there on the leopard, but unfortunately we can't really take the shot. ELC is not great with snapshots. The aim time is quite bad. It's 0.38 meters dispersion paired with 2.9 seconds aim time. So yeah, you won't be snapping shots off with this one often at all. Now we try to take some speculative shots on these tanks, and whoa, that was really close with the KV-1. But the ELC is no sniper either. However, if we can let it aim, and that Hetzer is just basically committing suicide, driving out there in the open, in the water, so it's even slow. No problem to pick that guy off with a single shot. So if you can let it aim, this thing can be surprisingly effective. Oh, leopard in the open. Can we get him before he gets into cover? No, unfortunately. The shell zooms past it, so that pesky light tank is still avoiding us at the moment. This thing's better. Yes, it flies through, so that means their vision is pretty much gone at this stage. However, our team might have lemming trained all the way up the hill, but actually we are down by a tank, 5 to 6. Even though the enemy team didn't go up in force. Although it has to be said that with the matchmaking they do have an advantage. They have a KV-1 and an OI, which in these frontal engagements are, especially the OI, is just... it's like a fox in the chickens then really, just murdering everything. And the only heavy tank that we had was a VK3601H. It isn't really great in frontal engagements, it doesn't have the armor to simply be the heavy tank on the front line. And he's already out of the game, so this could be very, very nasty. Oh, that was a close one as well. Unfortunately, no kill for us. And this is this time when we spot the Crusader and the Lego just blasting away at our artillery, which is bad news. We really would have loved some artillery covering fire there. We missed a shot there on the Crusader, firing a little bit too late, but that's okay, we should be able to spot these guys as they make their way up, trying to hunt down the Grille and the FV304. the meantime, unfortunately, our teammates dropping like flies. Look at that, the OI destroying the ELC AMX and the Skoda as well in rapid succession, so I'm guessing he rammed one of them. And at this stage we are down by 5 tanks. No, sorry, make that 4. But then the OI takes away another one. Oh boy. Already down by 5 tanks again. Nope, make that 6. Jesus. So that means it's basically us now and the FV304. 2 versus 8. Lovely shot there in the T-34, and now it's time to take out the Lago. And this is where the ELC is just so amazingly beautiful. A lovely drive-by there, just smacking him in the face with 240 alpha damage. Let's see if we can repeat the same with the T-34. Nice, that's an important one out there. The T-34 with its rapid firing gun can be a real pain in the back for a light tank like the ELC. However, unfortunately the FV304 falls victim of the OI, who's already on 6 kills. I wonder how much health that guy has left. And that guy will be pretty much the main threat for the remaining of the game. Although we can't think about the OI just yet, the Crusader is trying to get us by firing on the move. He is inaccurate as hell, and there goes artillery as well. So trying to sneak away from these guys. Going as fast as possible, over 60 km per hour. It's just amazing how good this thing feels when it's able to bomb it around on the map. So probably we should be able to lose the Crusader if we are careful. And whoa, that was unexpected. Artillery there, he misses the shotgun and we smack him in the face. Another lovely drive-by by the ELC. However, we can't stop. The Crusader is still hot on our tail, and we are still spotted, and there are 2 more artillery left in the game. So let's make a run for it. We seem to lose the Crusader though, and indeed he pops off the radar. Excellent news, so right away we turn around, see if we can spot him, and hopefully take him out in a single shot. There we go, he drives out in the open. Big mistake, buddy. We weren't fleeing from the scene. Now he puts one into us, but the alpha damage on the Crusader is rather low. Without taking too much damage, we are actually going head-on with him and head-bump him to oblivion. Lovely kill there, reducing this encounter to a 1 versus 4. But it's not over yet. Now this was our top gun, and if we take out the remaining guys, this will be a tanky round and a massive carry. However, we still have to worry about that OI. Oh, but what's that? Well, it turns out it's Christmas. We load our single HE round as the Guerrilla has not spotted us, so we have plenty of time. Probably the Guerrilla is expecting that we will be zooming towards the 0 line when artillery is typically located and is looking for us to be spotted there, but he gets a lovely HE shell in the back instead. So nice shot there, great use of the ammunition as well. And by the way, let me just make a quick remark here why we load the APCR. Now obviously it's against the OI, but you did see us fire a couple of APCR shells before as well. And that's because, again, just as last time with the Rudy, when the odds are against you, loading premium shells, especially APCR, pretty much takes out the RNG from the game, and when every single shot counts, well, it's better not to risk it. Now we won't be able to spot, unfortunately, the guy in the cap circle from this position, so let's move on. And sneaking from bush to bush, hopefully we can spot the OI and take him out at range, which is really our best chance. APCR shells in this machine, by the way, excellent, absolutely lovely. Compared to the standard penetration of 170 on our AP shells, APCR has 248mm, so by loading this, the OI is suddenly not that huge threat anymore. The question is, how much health does he have? If he has a lot, we might have to go in close and side hack him. Although that's a dangerous one because OIs can really easily squish the ELCs as well. Binoculars up, but no spots from here either, so we will have to go towards the center. And look at this. This is about as lucky as it gets. Turns out the OI is a one-shot, and he basically commits suicide by just driving out in the open. I don't really know what that guy was thinking about. Maybe trying to cover the cap, maybe trying to cross the water. Be as it may, that was a gift from the heavens. Now this is encounter, so it's still over 1.5 minutes left, so we have plenty of time to get ourselves into these bushes right here and try to spot the guy in the cap. And if we are not lucky, we can just move on and spot him from the other side. So will we get lucky? No, 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 wait, there he is. The Tier 4 Swedish tank destroyer is in the cap, drives out in the open for no reason whatsoever, and then stops. Okay, well, that's an interesting decision. And I was wondering here, why is he not firing? And then he reveals in the chat, he is waiting for a defender, the cheeky bugger. Now artillery has been spotted in the meantime as well. Now we can take the shot. Defender medal secured as well. That was something, alright. The nerves on this light tank driver. Come on, maali. Alright, so SU-8 in the open as well, fully spotted. He didn't spot us either, so we have plenty of time. Now this here is a little bit cheeky. We didn't move back to the bushes, so we will be spotted when we fire. And this is just balls of steel. And a little bit too cheeky perhaps, but the SU-8 misses and we take down the kill. 10 kills, 1 versus 6. No problem. I think we have gotten a little bit confident there in the end, but this was a rather well played match nonetheless. We had the tools we needed to carry, and we played them exactly to our strengths. Sweet. So, time for that medal shower. Ace Tanker, Pescucci's, Kolobanov's, Pool's medal, a very cheeky defender, a well-earned high caliber, and of course a Top Gun. Quite an impressive list indeed, especially for a Tier 5 light tank. Now looking at the team results, I think a little bit of carrying was indeed required, half of the team simply refusing to score a single point of damage to the enemy. That said, the enemy team wasn't exactly on fire either, or better to say they were after a while thanks to our help, just not in terms of performance. As for the details, we fired 20 shots in this 11.5 minute long match, hitting and penetrating 14 of them. And while we did fire quite a few APCR shells when things really started to go south, this was basically a break-even result, even on a standard account. Right, this was then our epic carry in the ELC, schooling the enemy team all the way to victory. Many thanks and congratulations once again to maali for another excellent light tank replay. I actually just realized that the RU-251 Spähpanzer game that has been voted in for this Saturday is also yours. Man, may you keep your good habit of sending these in the future as well. I hope you guys had just as much fun watching this replay as I did, and if so, thanks a lot for considering giving this a like or sharing it. Next up, it's time for another epic and funny moments compilation from World of Warships, and then I'm back on Thursday with some crazy Tier 9 platoon action. Thank you very much for watching everyone, and I look forward to seeing you again in one of the next videos.